members of the committee. I'd like to cut to the chase on Senate Bill 1450. I understand you have a long docket today. Let me tell you what this bill does and what it doesn't do. It says possession of concealed handgun permit holders at public institutions of higher education. Now, I'm a mom of 4 teenage kids with one in college and one heading there next year. I certainly understand obvious concerns of some in the room and some of the colleges and universities. Let me tell you where I'm trying to go with this bill. What I'm looking to do is to allow our emergency personnel and first responders who are 21 years or older and possess a concealed weapon permit to carry on campus. Our first responders are put in situations in which their patient becomes aggressively hostile, especially during this, as many of you know, opioid and heroin crisis, in which Narcan is used to revive patients. Many times there are no police around. They give EMS the ability to take control of the situation until law enforcement arrives. I will tell you this is very personal to me. My daughter, who's 20, is an EMT, and many times our EMS have to stage an event, and the police are attending another situation, and many times they are in another area staging, but there have been situations that have come up where it would be good that our EMS, who already have a concealed weapon permit, who are 21 years of age, would have the ability to take control of the situation. I will offer a substitute after listening to some of the universities. I know VMI and some of the other areas had some issues with allowing the ROTC program to also be included in this. So that substitute could be passed out. I would just like to make a comment about that. I was a little bit surprised when our public university, VMI, is a military institute, is a little bit concerned with having their folks have the ability to carry on campus, but I'm not going to say anything about that. I'll just leave that one alone today. But just tell you I took that into consideration. That's another issue for another day, but I really do think that we need to give our first responders some protection that they don't currently have.
All right, we've got an amendment in the nature of a substitute that's been distributed. Is there a motion to adopt the amendment in the nature of a substitute? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed. The substitute report. Senator Norman.
Mr. Chairman, I appreciate what Senator Cheif is trying to bring this tonight, wrapped in one particular higher education institution that I'm particularly fond of. Even though with your amendment is still going to affect 85 to 100 cadets of Virginia military to be active as EMTs or firefighters. The second issue that I have, and I don't know if it's argument with higher education, is that I think such matters the best left to the determination of the Board of Visitors on this amendment clause that prevent the discretion of the Board of Visitors.
All right. Any other comment? Anybody wish to speak on the bill? Anybody in support? Step up quickly. I rather suspect people have opinions already on this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't usually get too long-winded on these things. Philip Van Cleve, BCDL, we support the bill. We believe that we need to move kind of towards the direction that Liberty University has gone to. They allow carry, but everybody's got a permit. Again, nice and quiet these years. So people need to be able to protect themselves. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, Andrew Goddard, Virginia Center for Public Safety. I'd like to remind everyone that colleges and universities in the United States are the safest place for people to be out of everywhere else in our country. Being a student itself is a protective thing. Being on campus is even more protective because violent crimes against students are 93% of them are committed off campus where protective guns are already allowed. The way this bill is written is so broad that it could include hundreds of gun carriers at sporting events, vendors and other people like that. How do we know whether a vendor had been a participant in a ROTC program? And in any case, what does participation mean? That you went there for a week and didn't like it and left? We think this is a very dangerous thing to start to do, and I know something about what happens when guns are on campus, and I still don't support this bill.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. On behalf of the Virginia Association of Chiefs Police and also the campus police chiefs, we're opposed to this bill. We feel like this is a move in the wrong direction in terms of safety on campus, particularly for our officers. This also includes certified campus security officer. There's a bright line between campus security and campus law enforcement, and those campus security agencies, such as at Roanoke College and Randolph-Macon and others, they have agreements with law enforcement because those are the sworn law enforcement officers who come in that are carrying firearms in control situations. So this would be inconsistent with what we currently do on those agencies, on those campuses that have security and not police. So we do not support this bill.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Good morning, Lori House with the Educational Fund Stuff and Violence. I concur wholeheartedly with Senator Norman's comments, and there are so many reasons I oppose this bill. Officer safety being one of those, and I would just like to suggest, unless they're in the audience, that of the constituencies that are covered in this bill, you don't see any of them here asking for this bill. So I just would appreciate the committee's consideration and a no vote on this bill.
Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. Victoria Cochran, Deputy Secretary for Public Safety and Homeland Security. For all of the reasons stated by the previous speakers, the administration opposes this bill.
Thank you very much. All right, the bill, the amendment and the nature of substitute is before us. Any comments by members of the committee? Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Sarah now.
I just wanted to comment that as I'm looking at the substitute, it's extremely broad. Any event hosted at the institution, rock concerts, football games, we are really opening wide open guns in some places, especially maybe some of the concerts, which are particularly dangerous.
All right. Any other comment or motion?
Do you mind if I make the last comment?
I think the last comment is just a made.
Okay,
Sarah Cheif, thank you very much.
thank you.
Unless there's a motion on bill, I'll put it in the rest of the committee. Sarah, comment? There's been a motion to pass bill by indefinitely. Is there a second? Second. Been moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? No. Motion knows. One no. Senator Cheif, thank you very much.
Thank you.